Hi, everyone. My name is Mark, and welcome to the Day Trader's Quest, where I share with you my day trading journey towards discipline, consistency, and ultimately profitability. Each day, I share with you a recap of what I've traded, how I traded, and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. For today is what is it? Tuesday, March 24th. And as you can see on the screen, I am green today, but I did break every rule in the book that my current book, and kind of fell on my face a little bit. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So, as you know, if you've watched any of my prior videos, I kind of blew up some stuff last week, and so I put myself on a new trading plan where basically I said I get to trade one stock a day. Really one trade a day, not even just one stock. One trade a day, I'm done. I risk my normal. I'm doing 1,000 shares. If I hit, my goal is always one R, which is going to be $100 or 10 cents. And that means my risk is $100 or 10 cents. And so for me, the last few days, I've been doing pretty good about it. And yesterday, I did break that. I traded ultimately 3 times. And actually, if I go back in here, let's bring up, I think before I was actually done with the recap, or actually I already posted the recap yesterday, I did trade one more time. And so yesterday, I did trade in the afternoon AHMA, and that was a really dumb trade. That was a gamble. AHMA had done this massive drop from like $8 down to like $1 something. And so I was trying to buy it off a bounce. It wasn't bouncing. I sold it, right about 3 o'clock. Could have made a little bit more. I didn't trade much. I had 100 shares, but it was a gamble. Shouldn't have done it. But I think what happened yesterday is I kind of got complacent with that rule. I was like, okay, I had my one trade. That got me to, in this case, if I think about it, my first trade was 710. It gave me 136 bucks. Like, oh, that's great. I was, the day was still long ahead. Like I usually trade from 7 to 10. So I'm 10 minutes in and I'm already done. I'm like, I'll keep watching. And so I did trade again and made 60 bucks. And then again, just I got lazy on my rules. And so today, I think that's the same thing that happened. So let's talk about today. I traded one stock, I traded it twice, and I made one big mistake. So let's talk about it. So we are going to talk about Raya, whatever it is. It's one of our Chinese stocks that are out there that like their kind of pump and dumps situations, and this was a great example of that. So let's talk about the 2 trades I took and where things went right and where things went wrong. So let's talk about where things went right. So Raya had come out with some news. So this is a stock been trading around 65 cents. And again, this is one where they had a reverse split back in was like September. Chinese stock. It has come down from like $4 or $5 all the way to here in a couple months. It's a standard thing we see where all of a sudden, it drops down, they pump it, do another reverse split, and so forth. And so I got in on this one for as it was coming up. They came with news around a new type of power generator for AI. So it had the word AI in it. So of course the algorithms picked it up. And I got in on a pullback with a goal of breaking through $1. So I got in at 89 cents. Again, it was at 66, so it wasn't hugely. It wasn't terribly high so far, but I said I'll trade it for the break, and I did. I got that, and I pulled $184 out of this. That was 1.84 R. I mean, that was fantastic. That is exactly the type of trade I want to do. And at this point, I should have walked away, right? I think I was in and out. Let's see here. I was out within a minute, so I was out at 8:09. And so, yeah, there's still some more time in the day, but I should have been done. I should have called it, but I didn't. And this is where things took a turn. So I decided to trade Rhea again. Rhea, of course, started following the standard path that we see a lot of these stocks do, is where they drop, they plateau, and I was hoping for a bounce. And really, if I'm being honest here, I think I was hoping to get a couple cents out of this so I can break $200. I was trading my P&L a little bit. And so I decided to get in on it here at about 71 cents. And then just tanks down to 50. And at this point, that's That's $200. I'm like, oh no, I'm now red on the day. I made this and I would be red on the day. And so I said, you know what? I don't want this to be the case. I'm going to break my rules and I'm going to average down. And I averaged down, got down, it broke back down into about 40s. I averaged down again and again. And by this point, before the open, I am in at 4,000 shares. I think I'm averaged in at about 52 cents. And so it's working. I was hoping for maybe a surge coming in because you can see 47. I wasn't far off of my average at this point. I was hoping for a pushback in to be able to close out. It tried, and then we're getting close. Lunchtime happens, and it decides to tank again. Ugh. So of course, what I do is I average down again and again. I'm at this point. I'm in 8,000 shares, and I am hoping. I think I'm averaging at 44 cents, roughly, a little less than 44 cents. And so I says, all right, I want to be able to at least try to make. I'd love to end the day green, and I got a little greedy right on here. I probably could have sold, still ended green. I waited. I held this thing all day until literally it was like 3:58 and actually won't tell you 3:59 and 6 seconds. It surged and I was able to get out with a loss, but still green for the day. And ultimately, I kind of paid that price. So it wasn't the best trade at all. Definitely not the best trade. And it just shows me that if I would have followed my rules, I would have been up nearly $200 versus only up in this case $18.75. Now green is good. I'm happy with that. I'm not red for the day, but it could have been a lot better day if I would have followed my rules. And so I think it just reinforces that. As I was thinking about it and reflecting on it too, I think I was a little bit triggered today. I don't know if any of you use Webull out there for your trading, but I've noticed something over the last little bit is Webull is starting to restrict the purchasing of some stocks that it deems too risky, which is ironic because the one like this one, like RAYA series of reverse splits, it should definitely be on that list, but it's not. But two stocks that did surge this morning, and I got in pretty. I would have gotten in at a good time. Were ELAB and FEED. So I don't think I can bring up any of those on my chart here. No, I don't think I can because I can't bring anything up. But basically, I went to go in at ELAB this morning. It started surging. Once I hit the buy button, I got the can only liquidate error. I'm like, oh no, and I think from ELAB, what I saw was that I got it for the break of $1 or the whole dollar. I think it surged about 40 cents. And so I could have pulled $400 from that. And so I was a little miffed about that. A little while later, feed or FEED comes up, same thing happens. And so I think if I reflect a little bit on this, the reason I traded again was a little bit of P&L, but then also I think there was just some frustration. There's some anger in there around not being able to trade those other stocks and that ultimately traded really well. Like if those things had tanked like immediately and I was safe, I'd be like, oh, thank God Webull protected me from myself. But that wasn't the case. They actually surged and did fairly well. But it was the one that I did trade that, yes, actually my one trade was great. My second trade, not so great. That's where things got a little bit dicey for me. So it is what it is. This quest is long, right? That's the thing. They always say it is a marathon, not a sprint. And I would even argue it's not a marathon. It truly is a journey. It is a quest. It is something beyond just 26 miles and that has an endpoint. I don't think there is an endpoint. That's why I consider this that kind of quest / journey, is because it's going to keep evolving. It's going to keep happening. And I have to keep that in mind, that one bad trade today doesn't make me a bad trader. It doesn't make tomorrow bad. Tomorrow I need to come at it with fresh perspective. So today, like I said, ended green. Green is good, but Could have been a lot more green if I hadn't had broken my rules. So the goal for tomorrow: follow my rules. One trade, done. Got to find that great setup. That'll be the goal. But one trade and done. So hopefully next time we chat, I'll be sharing with you just one trade. So with that said, folks, best of luck out there on your journeys. And again, continue to pursue that path of discipline, consistency, and ultimately profitability. We'll see you tomorrow.